And there's so many more nuts, but almonds are the way to go.
Oh, here's here's
I'm,
saying.
I hope that little bit wasn't in the recording because that could have been taken either way.
I didn't even know what you said. I was
Well,
like,
we were just
We're
talking.
talking about nuts.
We were talking about the bars that you found.
oh, the chocolates?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited to get those to try them because they look really good.
Have you ordered them yet?
No, because I'm gonna be gone for a
Yeah.
week, so I don't know, like I
Yeah,
don't want
that's true.
chocolate to get here while I'm gone. Um, I'll just wait until like either towards the end of my vacation when I get back so that I can be here to
Yeah.
get them.
I'm
But
keen to know more about those, hun, but I don't think that brand's available here down under. I do have something that could work as an alternative, but it won't be the same. It won't be the same. I'm in
Well,
mourning.
the only problem with them is I saw that they only come to eight to a pack.
With the bliss bites.
No, the HU kitchen.
oh
Oh,
yeah, I don't
I've
know. I don't know, some of like how much exactly would it be of hold on, I can't talk and set everything up at the same time. Yeah, so I'm gonna try them out, see if they even taste good, see if they make sense, all this other stuff. But if not,
Exactly.
no worries. We'll go from there. All right. So Brian was great to have on this morning as our guest.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him in the business.
Is he ordering?
Not yet. We're working on both him and Jenny. We're both working on right now.
Okay, yeah, because I had no idea, like as we were talking, we're sitting here talking about isogenics, and I was like, I have no idea if he knows what we're talking about or what.
Yeah, he's seen a presentation before, so he's definitely, and he's got some people that he's thinking about bringing on board as well when he can get the money together.
Okay. I'm like,
just remember though, Noah, as well, like I know a lot of people focus on sharing like the systems that are available. However, I've started many people as new enrollments just on like the Ionic Supreme, should that I know will help an area of their frustration and their health and well-being. And quite often they start with that, they love it, and then they venture out and try other stuff. And if they want to try more than like say 3 things, I'm like, it makes more sense to get a system and save some coin on a bundle pack. And that's usually what they do as well. So it's individual products or systems, hun. We can tailor make any biohacking products to suit people's frustrations and areas of their health and well-being, right? And I think a lot of people forget that and just try to encourage these amazing systems, whether it be nutrition, skin, or every other piece of magic that we've got available to us.
mm-hmm.
We're gonna have a guest in a few minutes. Suge is gonna pop on in a few minutes.
Good.
I might apologize in advance and just turn off my camera because otherwise I might make you feel like you're on a roller coaster because I'm sort of rushing around outside doing stuff. So I'll apologize. I'll switch off my camera, but I will be writing and I'll button at the right moments if that's okay too.
No worries. We're kind of used to, all kinds of weird disturbances with cameras and audio problems and people doing some funky stuff. I literally just walked in the door. I walked in with 3 minutes to go pee because I'm cleansing today. So of course I'm drinking a lot of water and it goes through you. And so I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. My husband had to go walk to the daycare to pick up Miles because I have the car seat and I knew I wasn't going to make it back in time because daycare closes around 6. So it's been a crazy day, but let's jump on over to wins. Does anybody have any wins that they want to share? Anything?
Well, it looks like
good
there's
that's
three people
happened?
on. I have a few wins.
Yes, share
Yeah.
up.
Well, well, Cindy, you know that I've been going through physical therapy. I got approved today to start doing cardio, which I'm really excited about. Only 20 minutes to start out with.
What are you gonna do specifically?
Probably elliptical.
Okay,
I asked him specific about that. He said, yeah.
that's great.
Then I got a few potential clients, customers that I'm going to be signing up in the next couple days. So I'm really excited about that.
Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop.
Awesome. Yeah, it's like when that momentum starts, you know, it's like it's easy to just keep rolling. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have a little win. I'm classing it as a win.
Yes.
So I was just mentioning to Noah, we're doing an ISA derby, okay? Trying to get a chance to attend global celebration, because last year it was just total mind-blowing, life-changing for me, in fact. And should I have not have attended, it would not have opened up my world to all of you incredible humans. So that's a win-win.
Yeah.
So they've got the board out. My name's on the board, but it's still early days. There's 4 weeks to go. But then this morning I woke up and had a reach out. So I've already enrolled one new person today, and then that was followed by another new customer that reached out that I've just sent a link to, and then that followed up by another person today as well that I've just sent a link out to as well. So it's it's been a good Thursday here so far.
Awesome. Well, we this last weekend, a bunch of us got to meet in Newport Beach, and then we went to we had a little isogenics event with this new presentation that one of our team mates created, and then got to hang out and meet some other people that are in the SoCal area. So we've got one joining us here. But I was just thinking, I'll be out of town next week, but we can start a Facebook chat. And then everybody can just add in who they know in the SoCal area, so we can start doing events here, so we can start planning like timeout Tuesdays. And I was thinking, since we've got pretty heavy presence down in OC, we can kind of work our way down. It's just a matter of looking for locations that we can have timeout Tuesdays and things like that. But we've got this amazing presentation. We've got so many great leaders with great stories. And if everybody can invite, 1 to 2 people, that's huge. If more, huge, but it's locations, finding spots. Does your apartment complex have a like community room? That might
but it's $500 to rent.
be.
So the other
Wow.
the other option is in Tustin. There's a Rodrigo's. It's a Mexican restaurant, and they have a pretty good size banquet room, or whatever you want to call it, with a TV and everything else. And we can just do our presentation as long as people are ordering food. They would love to have us. I had my networking group there.
Yeah, let's we'll start a chat, and we'll just start throwing out ideas and stuff, and we can start getting stuff narrowed down as far as like when we can do it. And
yeah, I know the manager. And what was the situation with about she got a TV, Elaine?
Oh yeah, she's just got like a big blow up something that you can project onto. So
Okay.
the only thing is like to do it outside, it would need to be dark enough to be able to see it.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it's just something kind of cool, like it'd be really cool to have projected on there. We were like, oh, we could go to parks and stuff, but then we were like, wait, not in the middle of the day, and like, but I mean, if we would probably want to look for some more event space with like a TV type thing or whatever. So
yeah, and this place would hold probably 40, 50 people.
yeah. So I mean, we can definitely throw out and start getting some stuff, if we start out like something like once a month and see how it goes. And then if we could get it to every other week, we just have our spots.
Yeah.
But yeah,
How
really powerful.
How amazing would it be though? Like what we used to do when I was at the property before I moved here is there was a couple of decent sized trees and we would just string up like a big white sheet and do a projection on it and sit out and like, eat on a blanket and have some food and stuff like that. If anyone had something like that available and even could do an in-home event, that would be a really cool. Actually, it's the wrong season there, isn't it? You guys are in your winter.
Yeah,
Well,
but in
we're coming out.
SoCal, yeah, I mean, in SoCal, it's not quite as a harsh of a winter, but
Yeah.
if we were up somewhere north, but yeah, we'll
Fun.
keep looking into it, thinking about it, and I've got, so because we're military, we know some people that go in and out of the Barstow area in California. And then I've got a friend out in Victorville. She's been a customer here and there, kind of popping in and out, obsessed with the stuff, and then forgets about it, and then remembers again and creates a new account and then forgets about it. One of those. But let's kind of gear back over now that we're kind of all settled in to talk about our topic today. So basically our community calls here are just a group of leaders, people that are into health and wellness. And most of us are a part of Isogenics. And so we come together twice on Wednesdays, once in the morning, once at night. You can come to one or the other. They're pretty much the same things. You just get a different flavor. Some people are only available on one or the other, which is why we offer both. But we talk about relevant topics in the health arena. And today we're talking about ketosis, which it's been a buzzword for I don't know how many years. And it's a process that happens in our body, but people have taken it from a natural process that can happen sometimes not on purpose and turned it into on purpose through dieting to trick our bodies into using our fat for energy. And so it's very low carb, and it can be done very, very badly. And so we use a form of ketosis with our cleanse. I don't know if anybody else is cleansing today, but I am. Therefore, in my freezing cold office today, my lips were blue. So I've been in that ketosis and still enjoying my snacks in a very supported way, of course. But I like to share, since typically we have somebody share a story with the leader spotlight, and we just hadn't highlighted anybody for today. So what I opened it up this morning was to anybody that has any experience or knows of anybody that has done keto as a diet, and to kind of share that. And I'll kick us off by talking about these two ladies that I worked with. I'm a nurse, and in this ER in Kansas, we had a very small group of people, because it was only a 10-bed ER, so we didn't have a lot of employees, and a bunch of people were doing keto. It was just like, oh, somebody's having success, so somebody else tried it. And there was this one gal that was very, very precise with everything. Every time I saw that her food, they always came in very like nice Tupperware, like the nice kind with like the built-in fork and spoon. And she was very, napkins pressed and all these things. And her food was very healthy looking, very, beautiful, the hard-boiled eggs, the avocado, everything was done very, that looks tasty, that looks good, and she had followed it by a T. She had PCOS and she was doing it more for the health benefits, not so much the weight loss. And so she kind of stayed a little bit more on the heavier side. And her main goal, she was trying to get pregnant for years. She eventually was successful. And so it was really cool to see somebody use ketosis in the healthier format for a greater good in her health journey. On the other hand, there was another gal in the same department who was making these fat bombs where she was rolling chocolate and peanut butter in coconut oil. And she was like, look at this, I get to eat all this fat bombs. And she was having, greased out bacon and, greens are the enemy, no vegetables because no carbs, no fruit, very like heavy fat, everything. And we were talking this morning too about how, there's people that come out doing the keto diet and then their cholesterol goes through the roof because they are so focused on, they're not looking at the full nutrient panel. They're looking at the one thing that they know how to read, and that's fat. So they don't know the difference between saturated fat, trans fat, polyunsaturated fat, things like that.
Well, I thought it was interesting that Angela was talking about putting butter in her coffee or
Oh,
something.
bulletproof coffee. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I couldn't believe,
I've done
I've never heard that.
Yeah.
honestly there I'm a research geek, right? So you guys over there have got a cellular institute, okay? How to basically help your cells at a biological level to rejuvenate them. And I read this article and everything, and I filmed it and I can share it with you guys. But some of the things that they've actually scientifically proven, one of them is the bullet butter coffee. And if you read up about it and see the research behind it, it actually makes sense. But me personally, I would never do a keto thing. It's a lot of work, it's a lot of prep. And most people as well with keto that start on keto don't actually realize that if they're a woman, they're following a man's keto regimen. There's actually a woman's and a man's, but people that have got no knowledge with dietary whatever or nutrition, they don't even know it, mate. And they're only basically targeting one area of their frustration, which is weight loss. We know that this helps everything, right?
Yeah. So, even chatting with anybody who's got some sort of a pre-existing diagnosis, like if you were just told from your doctor, hey, your cholesterol is really high, I would not recommend a high fat diet. And you can do it the right way, but unless you are being monitored, like if you are under the care of a nutritionist, a health coach, a doctor, or something like that, like I would not recommend somebody with high cholesterol to go into a high fat diet like keto. Mediterranean is a much more controlled direction, while Mediterranean focuses a lot on the good fats. So it's something like, the fish in Mediterranean diet are good fat. I wouldn't overdo it if you've got high cholesterol. Now, there's different types of cholesterol. There's the HDL, which is the good cholesterol, like avocado, coconut oil, fish oil, things like that. And then there's the LDL, which is the bad cholesterol, which is like your Cheeto puffs and, peanut butter, sorry to say, but the types of oils that are in a lot of processed food. And so when it comes to, the cholesterol, like you want to lower the bad cholesterol and raise the good cholesterol, and it typically balances out. But there's other things that you can look at your blood work, like triglycerides. My dad's was in the 3000s, and I mean that's insane, yeah, for triglycerides. So I mean it happens, but it happens, but like I've drawn blood from healthy 27-year-olds that when you spin blood in a centrifuge, like it spins it down, it's going to separate into 3 different colors. It's going to be the dark red, it's going to be a white straw, kind of clear in the middle, and then it's going to be clear platelets. This individual's, when I drew the blood out of his arm, was already milky, already creamy colored. And then when I spun it, it was all creamy yellow on the top. It was not see-through like normal platelets at 27. Now we tell everybody, make sure you're fasting after midnight. We've all heard that when we go get blood work. I don't know if this kid was like, yeah, I'm fasting, and he just literally had a Big Mac. That could have caused it. I don't know. But I think we drew it again later and it wasn't bad, but it was like not like a couple days later. I think he came back like a month or 2 later, and it wasn't as bad. So I don't know if he cleaned up his diet. I don't know if he's lying. I don't know.
But 27, that's just like, wow.
Yeah. But I do remember jumping back for a second, like on the bulletproof coffee, that was really big a while ago. Like years ago when I was doing CrossFit, and CrossFit was like, big thing. A lot of people were doing the bulletproof coffee, and it's not necessarily bad for you. When you're looking at what kind of butter that you're putting into it, you can use ghee, you can use other forms of like coconut oil, anything like that. You are essentially, especially if you're drinking it first thing in the morning, you're sending signals to your brain to, hey, this is going to up our metabolism because it's caffeine and coffee. And it's also going to say, hey, we're going to burn fat today. So it does have a lot of benefit in it. But when we take all of this knowledge that we're learning here about keto and how does that apply to our isogenics cleanse, we are putting our body into ketosis with our cleanse, but we're adding some additional benefits to it in the fact that these fancy little botanicals in this little beautiful jar are going to pull those toxins that are in our bloodstream just floating around now, because it's like, I guess we came out of our fat today, and it helps us flush it out. And when we're burning fat for weight loss, I used to think there was only one way that we would release fat, and that's through number 2. But you actually are burning off your fat through not only number 1 and number 2, but through respiration, through sweating. There's different pathways of burning that energy. So if you're outside doing an aerobic exercise, like getting on a treadmill rower, doing some sort of a cardio, hot yoga, things like that, you are breathing heavy and you are burning that energy that's just like magically going off into thin air, because we don't see things on a microscopic level. And so our fat cells don't disappear, they just shrink. And so the key is to allow our body to know to use the source of energy that's in our body, because we're not starving. Like kids get trapped, in caves in Argentina and Chile and don't eat for 5 days and they didn't die, our bodies are amazing beings to be able to do what we can. And so that's probably a bad example, because our bodies do need, nutrients and stuff. You can only go so long without water, or so long without food. But ketosis is definitely a good process to understand. For a lot of people, they really just don't know what it is and just think it's a diet, but it's actually a metabolic process in our body. If you've ever heard of somebody going into diabetic ketoacidosis, that is when you have insane amount of sugar in your body and it doesn't know what to do it. So you're in this acid state because of all the glucose that's just floating around, and you are in that ketone, like you're spilling urine or spilling glucose through your urine, like your body's just not using anything effectively. So that is a very dangerous thing to put yourself in. You never want to go in diabetic ketoacidosis, but that is triggered by glucose, versus the controlled ketosis, which is the autophagy, where your body is basically using its own fat cells for energy. So yeah.
I was looking at one of my old posts about keto versus nutritional cleansing.
Yeah.
I need to forward to you because it was actually from my business partner, and you'll see it in it, because we started this whole nutritional cleansing versus keto.
Yep. Yeah, no, I think I have a post somewhere saved too, where it like talks about it, because some people, like I said, like the one gal who was on keto specifically to support her PCOS symptoms and everything, like she was very happy with keto. Like, of course, I talked to her when I started sharing isogenics. And so, but she was, she's like, I'm very happy. I very much love and enjoy keto, the lifestyle. And I'm like, that's great. Like this is how this works in hand. And so it's good to have that verbiage. And you want to talk on somebody's level of understanding, it can be really tricky, to be able to say things that, they will understand. Like if you say autophagy, like some people are like, that is that like calligraphy or something? Like they don't know what that means. And the same thing with, I mean, you should be talking to everybody when we have conversations with them on a level that they can understand. But yeah, does anybody else have any thoughts or anything on what they've experienced, what they've seen, any stories?
Well, I've been doing some keto meals and meal prep and stuff. And Sadie, actually, I just got an email from them today, and I have three boxes I can send to people. If you want one, I can send that to you to try it out.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it, see if if anything is on there that I can do. But
exactly,
that would be a really good gift, though. Keep some of those in mind for any future partners.
Exactly.
To be like, hey, they're going to sign up with a 30-day for breakfast and lunch shakes and say, hey, here's your free dinner for a month or however many you get.
Exactly. Yeah,
So-
it was just a thought, you know.
Yeah, no, that's
Right.
really cool.
I've had some people that have had some great success, if you could use that word, with keto. However, what I've found with them is, yeah, they've dropped the weight, but it hasn't been a long-term sustainable thing. And when they go off it, 9 out of 10 of them pile it back on and then some. I also, my eldest sister, put her son, my nephew, on a heavily ketosis like diet for his epilepsy when they were based in Saudi Arabia. And it held him for 3 months because she wanted to try everything, doing it right, and highly medical background person, my sister. And it held him for about 3 months, and then things went very, very wrong. But she wanted to try the natural ways first.
Yeah.
But it was not sustainable. Like, seriously, she was fit. Well, I mean, she had a professional chef and started making most of all the foods and everything like that. But it's a heck of a lot of work. A heck of a lot of.
Well, and not to mention, you know, how much does it cost to have a personal chef, you know, things like that. Like, we all wish we had somebody that we could, you know, do all that with. And we're always going to hear that, you know, excuse that like healthy food is expensive. And so, you know, it is so hard to find certain things. There's ingredients that I come across that are like magic. And I'm like, oh my gosh, these look so great. And then I look at the price and I'm like, just kidding. Like, I'll stick to, you know,
Needs
It was
Portable.
funny. It was funny you mentioned that, city, because the other day I was talking to someone about the cost of food in California and everything else, and she made Mexican food and it was so expensive. She says, next time I go for Mexican food, I'm gonna go to Taco Bell.
I
And
know.
she was serious, but I mean, it's like, I mean, I'd much rather eat from home.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've wanted to do like videos on how to really do a grocery trip effectively, especially in somewhere in California, and still eat healthy.
Yeah.
But I don't have time for that. That's just like a lifelong dream down the road to sometimes be able to do. But we're going to shift gears here and talk about our product of the day. Usually we talk about a product that has to do with our subject, but really Isoflesh, I wanted to bring this up because it is such a staple in our you know, toolbox here. This is a really great place to start for people who are wanting to regulate their digestion. A couple of things that I really like the most about it is you take this right before bedtime. It has a heavy dose of magnesium in it. Magnesium helps to relax those smooth muscles that we use while we're digesting. So if you're just digesting like crazy because you just ate a big, you know, giant dinner, or you're eating food that doesn't agree with you right before bed, your body is processing that while you sleep. You're not resting very well. So this helps to relax that smooth muscle so that you can rest and digest like the right way, where you're not sending all of your blood flow to your stomach and then to your intestine. And then, you know, hopefully the coffee will evacuate in the morning. So this really does a good job with that. Peppermint has been in like for ancient amounts of years has been helpful in the entire digestive tract. So if somebody is nauseous, you can go for peppermint. If somebody is having, you know, needing movement issues or has ulcers or anything like that, like peppermint is always on there. And the black walnut is something that does not taste good on its own, like not at all. And it can help with the relieving of constipation. And so if you've ever looked into a lot of digestion and why people get, you know, constipated, like some people will literally be sitting there with days and days worth backed up, and somehow our body just stores it. It just sits in there and we don't feel it because we don't have like receptors in that area for feeling. You may feel heavier pressure, things like that, but you don't notice that you have pounds of stuff that needs to be moved out. And so this just helps to move things along. And so it's got bentonite clay in it and all these great things. So I'm somebody who doesn't have this constantly like all year long. I'll use it for a month or two and I'm like, yeah, I'm never going to not use this. And then I get kind of distracted with something else and I'm like, oh, shiny object. I'm going to go order that for a little while. And then I always find my way back to ordering it again. So I just got it back and I'm like, it's just like a very feels like a home type product. I enjoy it. And I love everything gut health. So if there's ever any time where I'm like, oh, it's not where I want it to be. And this is coming from somebody who went 2 weeks in basic training without going and landed in the ER when I was in the Army. So, so yeah, I love to talk about gut stuff. So does anybody else
Yeah.
have thoughts about?
This is my go-to product. I absolutely love it. You know, because I do the which I do the kit every single month with the two shakes, well, 4 shakes, and then obviously the cleanse with the ionics and everything. So I do the whole system every month, and I swear by this product. If I don't use it one day, I know it's a difference.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think it's been a total game changer for me, not only with my digestion and gut bacteria and everything. I'm a 2 a night a girl, and the magnesium so mellows me out, gets me sleeping beautifully. And I love the fact that you're the same with the stools conversation, Sadie, that you tell so much by somebody's health by them actually telling you what it is like, right?
Yeah.
Everything.
Well, and I found out, my dad, he was like, I literally went once a week most of my life. And I was like, holy moly, no wonder I didn't ever really pay attention to my regularity, because it was a normal in my family. So nobody was like checking to see like, hey, when was the last time you went to the bathroom? Like nobody checked in on that. So like my daughter thinks I'm crazy where I'm like, you pooping every day? And she's like, yeah, mom, ew, why are you asking? I'm like, I'm just making sure, just checking. Yeah.
Do you know, does anybody know the number of times that is actually the right number to go to the bathroom to take a motion? It's actually 3 times a day.
Right. That's
is
the
3 times a day.
That's what they recommend. Well, they feel that, well, okay. The majority of what I have read of the suggestion is that your body is moving the food out after you eat. And so you don't want to be rushing through all of the food so quick that you're not pulling out the nutrients, but like you need to be ensuring that you're drinking water. You need to be doing all of these things. And so if you are going 3 times a day, that's great, as long as it is fitting all of the criteria of, what does it look like? What is the consistency? Are you having any symptoms of non-absorbing of certain vitamins? And so that's like a whole nother, topic for another day. But yeah, it's definitely really interesting when you start learning about all of that. And some people can be extremely healthy with going once a day. But some people will go 5 times a day, and they're just, that's what they do. But it's definitely a great product. And so to kind of wrap up our recorded portion here, we always kind of end with some sort of an assignment. And sometimes it's a very clear, obvious assignment. Sometimes it's a little bit, kind of out there. And so what I would really suggest people do is take a look at specifically the fat of products in the grocery store that claim to be keto. So if you're going down the cookie aisle and there's a whole bunch of keto cookies, take a look at really what's going on in the back there, because anybody can slap the word keto on something, just like anybody can slap on, plant-based or vegan and stuff. Now they're certified vegan, they're certified this, certified that. But again, like who's regulating some of this stuff anyway? So take a look at the type of fat, how much protein's in there, how many carbs are in there, like what are all the other ingredients going on in there? So is it even worth it to go for this, keto cookie, especially if you're not following keto specifically? So that's kind of the assignment. And then our vision is just to continue to have this space where anybody can come to get tools that they need for their health or business, a place where they can have accountability. Oh, I can't see that.
Yeah, actually, I'm sorry. I'll wait till you're done.
So a place where you can come for accountability with your health support and or business support. And then, a space where we're educating and empowering, and everybody has a seat here. This is not specific to any one, team or group of people. It's just those of us who are on the same path and really want to share this opportunity for people, whether they're interested in Isagenix or not. Like we try to keep it very neutral. So I'm going to go ahead and stop my share, and then I will stop the recording.